5 aircraft, 14 men. December 5th, 1945. None of them came back. 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers line up on the runway. Full fuel tanks, clear skies. A routine training mission over the Atlantic. They call it Flight 19. 2 hours into the flight, something goes wrong. The lead pilot, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, radios the control tower. His voice is calm but confused. Both my compasses are out. I am over broken land. I'm not sure of my position. The tower tells him to fly north. Taylor refuses. He turns the squadron east instead. That decision will kill all 14 men. Draw 3 points on a map. Miami, Florida, San Juan, Puerto Rico, Bermuda. Connect them. That triangle covers roughly 500,000 square miles of open Atlantic Ocean. To put that in perspective, it is larger than the entire state of California, Arizona, and Nevada combined. The zone sits at a crossroads. It is where the Gulf Stream meets the Atlantic, where Caribbean weather systems collide with North Atlantic pressure fronts, where ocean depth drops from shallow continental shelf to 30,000-foot abyssal trenches within miles. But since 1945, more than 50 ships and 20 aircraft have disappeared inside this zone under circumstances that investigators could not fully explain. Some vanished in calm weather with no distress calls. The ocean simply took them and gave nothing back. The U.S. Navy has officially investigated the zone. Lloyd's of London, the world's oldest insurance market, charges no extra premium for ships crossing it. On paper, there is no anomaly, but the families of the missing do not live on paper. December 5th, 1945, 14:10 hours. 5 Avenger bombers lift off from Fort Lauderdale. The mission is simple. Fly east, 56 miles, turn north. Fly 67 miles, turn southwest. Return to base. 2 hours, home for dinner. Lieutenant Charles Taylor has logged over 2,500 flight hours. He has flown combat missions. He knows these waters. He has done this exact route before, which is why what happens next makes no sense. At 15:30, Taylor's voice crackles over the radio. Calling tower, this is an emergency. We seem to be off course. We cannot see land. We are lost. Lost. 5 military aircraft over familiar waters in clear daylight with an experienced pilot who had flown this route before. The tower tries to help. They ask for his position. Taylor cannot give one. Other pilots in the squadron disagree. One radio transmission is captured. Damn it. If we would just fly west, we would get home. Taylor overrides them. He is the lead. His word is final. At 17:50, his transmissions begin breaking up. The last clear words from Flight 19. All planes, close up tight. We'll have to ditch unless landfall. When the first plane drops below 10 gallons, we all go down together. Then silence. Not static, not broken transmission. Silence. The kind that means there is no one left to transmit. A Martin Mariner rescue plane with 13 men on board takes off immediately to search. 23 minutes later, it disappears from radar. A passing merchant vessel reports seeing a sudden explosion in the sky at the exact coordinates, Narajan, but no wreckage is ever found from the Mariner. By morning, the search covers 250,000 square miles. They find nothing, not a life raft, not a fuel slick, not a single piece of debris from 6 aircraft and 27 men. The Navy's official conclusion, cause unknown. 3 words, for 27 men. 3 words that will be stamped on more files in this zone in the years to come. Flight 19 was not the first, and it would not be the last. The files go back further than most people know, and it would not be the last. March 1918, USS Cyclops, a 542-foot Navy cargo ship carrying 309 men and 10,000 tons of manganese ore, departed Barbados on March 4th under clear skies and calm seas. Never arrived in Baltimore. No distress signal, no wreckage. The largest loss of life in U.S. naval history, not involving combat. President Woodrow Wilson later said, Only God and the sea know what happened. To this day, not a single piece of the Cyclops has been recovered. January 1948, Star Tiger, a commercial aircraft with 31 people on board. Last radio contact 400 miles northeast of Bermuda. Normal flight, normal weather, then nothing. No mayday, no final transmission. The official inquiry concluded no explanation has been forthcoming. December 1948, DC-3, 32 passengers, approaching Miami from Puerto Rico. The pilot is calm. He can see the city lights on the horizon. He radios for landing instructions. The tower responds. The plane never lands. It is never found. 4 major disappearances. Less than 3 years. Same zone, same conclusion. Unknown. A word that carries the weight of every person who never came home. Investigators, scientists, and researchers have spent decades trying to explain the Bermuda Triangle. Here is what they found. And here is where they disagree. Theory 1. Methane hydrates. The ocean floor beneath the Bermuda Triangle contains massive deposits of methane gas trapped in ice-like formations. When these deposits destabilize, triggered by changes in pressure or temperature, they release enormous bubbles that rise violently to the surface. Australian researchers tested this in 2003. A simulated methane bubble was capable of sinking a model vessel in under 30 seconds. No distress call possible. No time to deploy a life raft. The same gas rising into the atmosphere could disrupt aircraft engines and cause sudden total loss of power. Theory 2. Hexagonal clouds and air bombs. In 2016, satellite imagery over the Bermuda Triangle revealed hexagonal cloud formations ranging from 20 to 55 miles across. Meteorologists studying similar formations identified a phenomenon they called air bombs, explosive blasts of air producing winds exceeding 170 miles per hour and waves over 45 feet high, with no warning. Theory 3. Electronic fog. In December 1970, pilot Bruce Jernan flew through the Bermuda Triangle in a small aircraft. A strange tunnel-shaped cloud appeared out of nowhere. Inside, all his instruments failed. His compass spun. His navigation systems went dead. Time itself seemed to compress. Theory 4. The Gulf Stream. One of the most powerful ocean currents on Earth runs directly through the Bermuda Triangle at up to 5 miles per hour. Any wreckage entering it is carried hundreds of miles away within days. Evidence disappears not because it was destroyed, but because the ocean moved it somewhere no one was looking. Each of these theories is plausible. Each has scientific support, and none of them fully explains every case, because the Bermuda Triangle is not one mystery. It is 50 mysteries, each one different, each one unresolved. In 1975, a librarian named Lawrence David Couchet published a book that challenged everything. He spent years cross-referencing every disappearance attributed to the Bermuda Triangle against original sources, Coast Guard reports, insurance records, newspaper archives from the actual dates. His conclusion was devastating. Many of the most famous Bermuda Triangle disappearances happened outside the triangle entirely. Some occurred during storms that were never mentioned in the sensationalized accounts. One vessel listed as a Bermuda Triangle victim had actually sunk in the Pacific Ocean. Lloyd's of London agreed. The insurance market that prices risk for a living found no statistical anomaly in the region. The U.S. Coast Guard found no statistical anomaly. NOAA found no statistical anomaly. More ships crossed the Bermuda Triangle than almost any other region of ocean on Earth. The loss rate is entirely consistent with global averages. So, is the Bermuda Triangle real? Or did we invent a monster to explain what we couldn't understand? The answer depends on what you call real. The zone exists. Ships and aircraft have disappeared inside it. The mystery is real. But the supernatural explanation, the anomaly, the force, that may be something we invented. Here is what we know about Flight 19. Taylor's compasses failed, both of them, simultaneously. An experienced pilot with 2,500 hours in the air who knew these waters, could not determine his own position in clear daylight. The cause of the compass failure was never determined. In 1991, a salvage team discovered 5 Avenger aircraft on the ocean floor off Fort Lauderdale. For a brief, electric moment, the world thought Flight 19 had been found. The serial numbers didn't match. They were 5 different Avengers from 5 completely different incidents. The ocean had collected them like a graveyard. Flight 19 has never been found. 80 years. The most advanced search technology in human history, sonar, submersibles, satellite imaging, and the 5 aircraft and 14 men remain exactly where they went down, wherever that is. And Taylor himself, the pilot who made the wrong decision. He was cleared of all blame in the original Navy report. The investigators concluded that the cause was not pilot error because they could not explain how an experienced man had become so completely disoriented in clear conditions. Even the Navy's exoneration came with an admission. They did not know why. The Bermuda Triangle has been investigated, debunked, mythologized, and studied for 80 years. The skeptics are probably right. Statistically, the zone is not more dangerous than any other stretch of open ocean. Most disappearances have mundane explanations: human error, mechanical failure, severe weather. But Flight 19 still has no explanation. The USS Cyclops still has no explanation. 27 men vanished on clear afternoons and left nothing behind. And the ocean, which takes everything eventually, has kept their secret for 80 years. And on December 5th, 1945, 14 men flew directly into that margin between known and unknown, between here and gone, between a world that could be explained and one that could not. Sometimes the most terrifying explanation isn't a monster, it's a mistake. An experienced pilot made a wrong turn in clear weather with a working radio, and no one could override his decision. And that is enough. That is all it takes. If this case left you with questions, you're not alone. Researchers have spent decades on it and still disagree. The Bermuda Triangle may be a myth, but the men who disappeared inside it were real. Somewhere beneath 500,000 square miles of Atlantic Ocean, 14 men and 5 aircraft are still waiting to be found. The ocean has kept its secret for 80 years. It shows no sign of giving it back.